Hello, everyone. It may be quiet. I've got a feeling it'll be quiet. I don't know if the chat area is working. I don't know if you're able to say if you're there. Well, just put a question in there. Any good? Can you see? So I hope you're enjoying the start of spring and these wonderful flowers emerging again. Thinking very much this time in Japan. I don't quite know whether the cherry blossom has passed yet or not. It's very brief and it's very transient. And it is very beautiful as well. And everybody just drops whatever they're doing and just goes out and celebrates the blossom. Everyone bring out little blue. Oh, brilliant, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. I'm glad it's working. Hey, Claire. Oh, hello. Everyone put out little blue blankets and bring out picnics. David, what a treat. Thank you for joining us. And just saying about this time of year with sakura, how beautiful it is. I've now been to Japan 3 times, which is incredible. The first 2 times at this time of year, and we saw the blossom emerge, and just the celebration, so beautiful. It's so transient. There's a sort of like a weather forecast that travels along Japan, and so people can see when it's likely to happen. But it's all based on nature, isn't it? Actually, just come back. I have to say, I'll be a little bit rusty for parts of this. Just come back from Dusseldorf in Germany, and has the 3rd largest Japanese community. Some Japanese businesses, and there's a lot in the community there. Lots of really good Japanese foods. I've been really enjoying Japanese food, and lots of culture. Beautiful Japanese garden as well. So feeling as if we've had a little trip to Japan as well as to Germany at the same time. Really recommend it. Very reasonable as well. So it's very lovely to have some good Japanese food. Very homely, very lovely. So we're going to have a go at doing this cherry blossom. From what I gather, I think this is from Nakano Mitsu. I don't know whether you know more about that, from mid-80s. Trying to see whether there's any way to contact him. I couldn't easily see whether there is. I guess it's quite a long time ago now, 1985. And I just really wanted to do something to do with cherry blossom. This is just so beautiful. So I think it's from him. And the idea, which I think is rather lovely, actually, that they're separate little petals that you stick together, which is, I can't see you moving. In that case, it's frozen, hasn't it? Am I still frozen? Can you let me know? Has it? Oh, dear. No, it's just me. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Thank you, Claire, for letting me know. You're very good. Sometimes I wonder. It's still, as I said, I don't know what's happened to YouTube, but it suddenly flipped the way around that it shows the screen to showing the view that you see, which isn't very useful for me. But so now I have to look down at my hands rather than look into the screen, which is such a shame. I still find it confusing, like moving things the wrong way all the time. So you make individual petals. I don't know if you've made this before, and which, to be honest, it's like the real flower because those petals are separate. Oh, sorry, it was just you, David, but I hope it sounds like it must be a bit better. I hope I've unfrozen for you. So you make separate little petals, and then you glue them together, which is a lot more like the traditional origami. So I hope you'll enjoy that. So separate petals and glue them together. So 5 petals. We'll see how much we do. Also, I was just experimenting. I've realized how rusty I am because I've been away for a bit. But for myself, I just experimented with doing a very simple pentagon and a shape where you can actually glue then the petals to effectively the sepals to the green. And having that as a decoration that way. And I found that quite nice. I've been putting this on my door. So some without any petals, and then some with, the sepals, the green, I found quite nice. So I give it a go and try to explain to you. It's a bit of a playing around. I've realised whenever I've attempted to find my own things, I'm terrible explaining it. And it's still a little bit me fumbling around trying to understand it myself, but I'll give it a go. So if you can, I will demonstrate with white because it's a lot easier to see, but you might want to get yourself some nice pink or so paper for the blossom. This will be 5 individual pieces. So if you get origami paper, split it into 4, use those 4 squares, and then I'm afraid you have to go into that second sheet and again a quarter, so they're all those 5 pieces the same size. If it's origami paper, it's around this size, which is actually quite a nice sort of size. Also, if you feel like it, you could get some green, and I'll attempt to show you how I've done this little background if you wish to. It was just a thought. I felt like I wanted it to be against some green. So that's another possibility. I will show you with white. Grabbing something to press on, some paper, and we'll give it a go. It's very relaxing. I've really liked making this actually. Have any of you made this cherry blossom mitsu? It's such a classic Japanese. I think particularly with a notched little bit, it's just so perfect. Oh, I'm sorry you can't see it, David. How strange. Yeah, this will also be recorded, and I've also made a film as well. Thank you for joining. Hope it somehow magics its way back to you again. So I'm going to take an A4 piece of paper, but as I said, if you've got, I'm just going to make effectively 2 pieces of origami paper. If you've already got origami paper, then there's no need to do any of this. Then select yourself 2 that match, that you feel work well together. I'm just going to rip it in half. I wonder why it's doing that for you and not for others, David. I really don't know. I'm going to make a square there. Hope you've been keeping well. Hope you're enjoying spring. I'm going to remove this rectangle. So I'm just going to turn it over. Yeah, I think this would be a good test for you not seeing, but I'm really not very good at explaining without showing you, to be honest. Explaining entirely in words is, I find, very hard work. Good exercise though, good for the brain. Tearing off that, maybe for a list. And I'm going to do a second square. There we go. I know Penny and Eric can't make it today. I'm thinking of them. Sending best wishes. If you do catch up later, then it's great to have you here afterwards. I'm just making 2 squares. And then these squares I'm going to split into 4. We just want 5 pieces. Have any of you made this cherry blossom before? Seem to be seasonal. I think the seasons is very much an important part of Japanese culture. With their poems and art is often about the seasons, and the garden's really aware of the seasons. There we go. Make relaxing making the squares. Go. How are you getting on with your squares? Let me know when you're ready. I've made my 5 squares now. How about you? So they all need to basically 5 squares at the same size. A quarter of a piece of origami paper is just the perfect size. As you saw, I made this out of A4. That's it. Great. Thanks, Claire. Yeah, I know quite a few people couldn't make it today, but I thought it would be good to fit in one because, again, it may be quite a few weeks till I'm free again. So I thought I really want to do the cherry blossom while it's the cherry blossom time. Right. So if we take one of these out of the 5 petals, we're going to make 1 petal. And this side, I think Oh, suddenly thinking which side should be which colour. Oh, this side should be white. So this inside should be white. So if you haven't got a diagonal line, fold first of all a diagonal line like so. There we go. And now take the outside top diagonal and fold it along that central diagonal like so. Make that nice little kite shape. There we go, one side. I don't know why it wasn't behaving for you, David. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Maybe we'll never know. We probably won't. There we go. And now open it up. Have you managed that? Great. I'm assuming you have. So I'm now opening up those side flaps. And then going to do a fold from that point to that point. It's a bit like, in a way, the crane shape there, isn't it? Just going to join from that line to that line. Like so. Actually, I'm going to turn it up that way around now. There we go. So keep that closed. Are you happy with where we are? Let me know if you need more time. It's quite nice and simple, actually. And I think that's what it's actually, I'm really enjoying doing something that's quite simple, but really effective. And again, that repetition of the modular is really nice. I know they don't slot together. If anybody comes up, maybe there is an innovation to do that. It'd be really nice. But I think it's quite nice to think of this as cherry blossom, and their little petals do become separate again. So you could just enjoy them separate little petals. So you're going to take this outside edge and bring it up along that vertical line. Like so. Thinking almost of a, I don't know, a cicada or something else. Again, the outside edge along that vertical line so that they meet, but be nice and exact. I'm going to have to see what I'm doing myself. And enjoy taking your time. There we go, like so. Is that good for you? Do say if it's not. I'm hoping it's all working. You never just know. I'm then going to take it as it is. I'm assuming that you're all good. And fold it back along that middle line. There we go. And open that top flap. That top flap, open it up. And we're going to take this bottom bit that's sticking out. We need to make it more of a shape of a cherry blossom. So I'm going to lift this up and it's going to line up along that edge and it's going to match up from there, from that corner. So I'm going to take this bottom edge and I'm lifting it up and I'm keeping it nice and lined up with the edge there from that corner. And you'll see it's slightly overlapping with this piece here. So you should be able to tuck that in like so. There we go. And now taking the outside flap, closing it. Please say if you need more time, if you need me to explain. I don't know if the chat thing is fully working, so I'm assuming someone will say if you're completely out of time with this. Please do say. Are you good? I'm going to take this top little triangle and just fold it down just to make a nice little fold line. Squash. Great. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. And then opening it up like so. Great. So next we're going to work on the inside of this. So turning it round to that longer edge and opening it up. Now I want you to take that top little notch with the lines that you've got and squash it, bring it inwards. Bring it inwards so it will close up nicely. Like so. Can you see? Take your time. So the lines that you've got, you're then pushing inwards so it can close like that. There's just one more step, which is to take the bottom and bring it up, lining it up like so and squashing it at the bottom. That's it. So it's become flat. Now open it up a little bit and it's like a little pocket, and again making sure that nice little notch top is there, and that is a petal. That's one of the 5 petals, like so. Have you all managed that? I hope so. It's only really when they can't start coming together that you can see that it will form a cherry flower. Right, I'm going to do another. I don't know whether we can do the 5 and then think about the green sepals, which we could make. Yeah, excellent, great. Have you done this before, Stephen, Claire, Evelyn? Have any of you made this before, David? I'm curious. So maybe we could do the final 4 together. So if you take each of your piece, again, this is the right side, and do a diagonal line. So do this for all 4. I tend to find it a little faster and sort of relaxing doing a batch. There we go. Folding in half, white on the inside. That's it. Great. For you too, Claire. That's great. Oh, I'm glad. It's really beautiful. As I said, if you really want it to come together as a blossom, you'll need to stick it together. Or you could find, maybe there's another way. But think of those separate petals. So it is quite appropriate in a weird way that they're not joined together, because it's only through the sepals that they'll be joined together on the flower. Right, so I'm assuming you've all done that, folded all 4 of those in half along a diagonal line. So for each 4, take the outside line and bring it along that vertical line. Make it into a kite-like shape. As I said, I find it a bit easier if you do 2 of them together. Each one of these. Folding along that vertical line, make them look like little kites. Each side. Like so. Are you all good for the next step? Let me know when you are. I'll wait till one of you gives me a thumbs up. So this will be the coloured area. This will be white. Good. Thanks, Stephen. So actually, I think it's probably easy. Let's keep those side ones closed and just fold over the top. It's definitely glad, Claire. It's almost looking a bit like making a crane, isn't it? Yep. So let's do that for all of them. It's quite a quick step. Take each one and just fold it forward. Really easy to do. I love how with the modular, how you've got this whole little set of matching shapes. I find that very beautiful in its own way. Just enjoying these gorgeous shapes. Are you all good for that? You've done that for all 4. Yep. So now I'm assuming you're all good. Right, so if you just open up all the little flaps and then just bring down the top one again. That's it. So the other ones are open, but the top little triangle is pointing down. And then we're going to take that outer top edge and bring it along your vertical line, like so, each side. I'm going to have to do this one looking down to be accurate enough. That's it. And again, the other edge, top edge, bring it along that vertical line. Like so. Let's do that for all of them. So opening up all the flaps, taking the top triangle, bringing it down, that top diagonal edge, bring it along the vertical diagonal line. That's it, and that top diagonal edge along that middle line, like so. Another two to do. Open up all the flaps, take the top one and bring it down. Take that top diagonal along that central line. That's it. There we go. Next one. Open them all up. Bring that top triangle down. Top edge along that vertical fold. Both sides so they meet. And again, I'll wait till you're ready for the next step. Are you ready? I will wait for you. You're good. Excellent, Claire. Well done. Do you find it more relaxing getting into the sort of doing a whole little batch together? I find it's like a little dance or a little piece of music. The repetition is quite pleasing. Right, I'm going to assume we're all there, but if anyone says need more time, please do say. Great, thanks, Stephen. So as it is, fold it back along that vertical line, like so, and open up one flap, and we're going to bring that bottom pointed edge up until it hits that line there, and keeping it aligned up. Oh dear, you feel a bit more rushed there. That's fair enough. I just thought it would take quite a while if we do each individually 5 times. But yeah, well, you can always continue them a bit later. So I would do whatever's most enjoyable for you. It's more about enjoying that process. It's not about, I find I get better each time. It's not about rushing it or a final thing. It's about enjoying it. So you will be able to use videos to do it. So if you feel like I'm not, just do the one. That's fine. Right. So as it is here, you can see there's that overlap with that little sticking out bit. So it's a pocket, and you can lift it up and tuck it in. That's it. And then close it. That's it. And as it is now, let's take that top triangle, fold it forward, little squash there, and then it's the opening up. So there's a longer edge, opening up, and it's a little pocket. And I just want you to slightly refold that sort of notch, that notch line there, pushing it in, closing up, so it's that really nice shape. And the one last step is that bottom bit of that pocket, folding up like so. so it becomes all flat again. And then opening it. And then that little notch again you can get in there. Hopefully you're beginning to get the hang of it. So I've done 2 fully formed ones. And I do get on to the next one. As it is, folding it back. Hopefully, yeah, you're getting into the swing of it. Again, we're wanting to sort of get rid of that bottom triangle. Opening up the side, lifting that up, keeping that lined up there. Squishing it, and then looping it under that little, making a little tuck, closing the flap again. That top triangle, pushing forward, opening up the big pocket. And then again, pushing in that little notch, thinking of the petal, that beautiful little notched area, and then pushing up the whole bottom area, keeping it all lined up, squash there. And again, you can open it out with the notch, like so. There we go, same thing again. Yeah, I could just have shown you one petal and left it there, but I thought, well, I can just about show you the vibe, accompany you while you're hopefully sort of discovering it yourself. Folding it back along that vertical line, opening up that little arm, lifting up the bottom, keeping it lined up. So each one's simple, but it does take time to do quite a few petals. Tucking under that flap, closing it up, taking that top triangle and folding it forward, opening it up, opening along that pocket, and then pushing in that little notch area, and then the whole bottom area. There we go. Here we go. Gosh, it's 2:30 already. I'm wondering actually if I might recommend for the pentagon the green back, because it will take us a little time to make pentagon and then to try to fold it out. I wonder actually whether it might be better for you to go onto the video that I've made for the green sepals, because actually as it is now you can stick them together and make a cherry flower, but if you wanted you could do that extra step, and I've got a video there for that as well. It will be a bit of a puzzle, I'm afraid, but it might be quite fun to do. It's almost like a little tattoo, the back. Right, as it is now, folding back. Almost could imagine this as a grasshopper. Do you feel like you could hit that and it would jump? Opening up the side flap, taking the bottom. Yeah, thank you. I'm just thinking it will be here quite a while. And also it's not a needed part of this, but if you did want to do some green, that would be a way of doing it. Thank you, Evelyn. Here we go, and tucking it under. There we go. Closing that up again. Hopefully you're finding yourself so occupied with this that you're not thinking about other things, and that's really what I offer origami for. It's a beautiful way of focusing the mind. It's full of just beauty and wonder and focus, and it's a really good thing to escape thinking about other things for a bit. And I think it's a very active way of doing that with a very everyday but incredible material. Paper is an incredible material. That top little triangle, pushing that forward. That's it. Excellent, excellent. Opening that up, opening up that bigger pocket, pushing that down. That's it. And then taking that bottom area and bringing it up, lined up, and then opening it up. So hopefully you might just about have a 5 petals. I mean, they could be fallen petals, but they don't look so great without the glue. So I normally do this with actual paper clips and then leave it to dry overnight. I quite like doing that. But we can have a go at gluing it together now. As I said, if you wanted a green background, that's maybe the next step to make if you feel like it. So you've got the notches obviously there at the top, and these are the edges where you'll glue onto the next petal. So a little bit PVA is good, to be honest. I would go for PVA. So just sticking that to the next one, holding it together. And then onto the next one. So you could use a paper clip there. It might just about work as it is anyway. I'm going to try. And then the next inside one. Maybe there's another way of doing it. I thought the green petal sepals were good to glue too. Could even be a three petal thing. But I think it's better 5. Oh, I think I might use the paper clips. That way, you know, it'll stay together. As I said, I rather love doing something like this at night and then putting on the radiator. In the morning I come down and it's something really nice to look forward to. And I've been making little decorations today. I've just blue tacked onto our inside door and they look really pretty. Just adds a little bit of spring. And next one. There we go. And I've just got one more. How are you all getting on? I feel your hands must be occupied because it's all gone quite quiet, which is probably a good sign, isn't it? Yeah. It's a bit more involved, isn't it, once it's modular? Even though it's only 5 petals, it still takes more time. Put glue on those sides here. This will be a white cherry blossom. That also happens. Using those paper clips. Yeah, I think it's worth doing. I found actually I was trying to use little pegs, but they kept opening up. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah. No, hurrying is definitely not the point. In some ways, it's been more hurried than it should be. I recommend you just doing it in your own time. This is just about learning. And then really enjoy doing some gorgeous pieces and thinking about lovely papers. But that will dry and become really quite lovely. I've been using some lovely cherry blossom paper or pink paper. And the green one is a little puzzle you can find. So if you look at my videos, it's my latest video, and it will show you to do that. It's almost like a little tattoo. And that's, yeah, you can see the green coming through in the middle as well there. That was just an extra little thing that I was just playing with myself. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you can join me in making these gorgeous decorations, putting them up and really celebrating this beautiful time of year. And I really hope you can get outside and enjoy that too. I haven't yet looked up when would be next time. It'll be quite a few weeks because I'm actually taking annual leave. And then after that, I'll be in the hospital in person. So excellent, Claire. I'd love to see if if you're able to do that. As I said, I think sometimes my instructions for my own playing around can be the ropiest of the lot, but give it a go and enjoy it as a little challenge. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Stephen. Yeah, and I hope, David, maybe you can catch up afterwards. Wishing you a good few weeks, and I will put, you're so welcome, Evelyn. Thank you for letting me know. I will put the title of, this is a live video, I will put the title of this live video at some point when I've decided which date, and I would put the name in there. Also sharing it on Twitter and also on Facebook as well. So I hope that's helped. Wishing you a good spring. Enjoy that beautiful blossom. Look after yourselves. Happy folding. Bye-bye.